So, what's up guys? So it is the next day, and unfortunately, well, I don't know who's that unfortunately for. It's probably a good thing for whoever's going to buy this house. But after careful thought last night, after we went through everything we went through yesterday, it's been my assessment that we just probably need to go ahead and pull back on some of this floor and check and see how far the rot goes, because one thing we don't want is to have to bury rot underneath something that's good and then years later things start popping up here and there. So like I say, man, if you just do it right the first time, you don't have to do this to make this work, because if something goes wrong, then somebody else has to come back and do this to make it work, because this happened and this happened. So if you take it all out and you do it right from the beginning, then anything that goes wrong, and it shouldn't go wrong if it's done right, but you know, things happen. But if it does, when somebody goes to fix it, they'll go, oh, I can just pull that out and put it back in because somebody did it right. So that's what we're going to do. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Alright, so over here we started tearing stuff apart, and then there was a little bit of rot underneath there, a little rot under here. We were just going to leave this floor here because all the joists are in really good shape except for the ones that were on the outside, and I've already replaced those. And then over here we were just going to pull back and replace anything underneath. You can see we started doing that yesterday, and I just thought, you know what, let's just pull this whole thing back 12 feet all the way back to here, and I'll pull back 8 foot back to here, take a look and see if the rot goes this far, and if so, then we'll have to continue on. And eventually, if we find out that all of it is rotten, which we know the front is, you know, where the band is. Now the joists are okay, and the ones that aren't have already been sistered on, and the ones that were in really bad shape, which were those, I went ahead and replaced. So, and that's 3 of them. So if it gets to where it's, you know, just like it was on the rest of the house, where it's all rotten all through here, then we will have to go ahead and pull this floor out right here, and then I'll go back to putting blocks down there and building another temporary wall from the ground all the way to the ceiling, and then we will start tearing out floor and building new walls for the front. So I don't know, we may end up having to do the whole thing anyway, but anyway, this is where I'm going to start today. So you guys hang tight and follow along with the progress, and I'll let you know how far this rot goes and how far we'll have to tear it out and how much we're going to be replacing. All right, you guys, I will check back in with you in just a little while. Holla. Alright team, so while I got you here, I want to explain the construction of these walls and how I've decided to do what it is I'm doing and why. So generally, you know, when you're building houses with 8-foot walls, the studs will come pre-cut at 92 and 5/8. However, our whole house, the whole house, not just the interior walls, but the exterior walls, was built out of 1x2s. That's right, I'm not joking. Hold on, I'll find a piece and show you. Alright, so I found this in the living room. You guys take a look at that. 1x2. So it's actually 1 1/16, sometimes 1 1/8, it just depends, but it's generally about 1 1/16, and it's a fat 16th. So I'm calling it an 1/8. Anyway, this was in the wall. Now I looked up and did some research and said, is it legal for a house to be built out of 1x2s? And it said it's okay, as long as it's framed on 12-inch centers. So if you guys take a look, you can see there, it literally was framed on 12-inch centers. There's the plywood. You can see the marks where they used to be. I've now moved it over to 16-inch centers. And so now with that being said, what I've had to do is this top plate, it's attached to the trusses up there. Does that make sense? That's how they did it. And then they screwed down through too. It toenailed through the truss into something like this. So what I've had to do is come back on the inside of this single that they had up there. That's right, it wasn't even double top plated. Single top plate, cut 2 inches of the drywall back, and then come beside that with another one of these, making the whole apparatus
3.5 inches wide, and then I was able to take a standard 2x4 3.5 inches and bring that up to the bottom. And also on the corners on some of them I was able to weave them in so they overlap like you're supposed to build a house. And so if you take a look up there, you'll see what I mean by slapping that 2x4 up underneath there. Hey, let's go in here and take a look at one that's already built. You see what I mean by I've had to cut the drywall back 2 inches there, slap that 1 1/16 inch top plate up there, making it 3.5, and then I was able to come up underneath that with that. Now with that being said, that 1 1/16 top plate made my studs a 1/2 inch too short. So all of these have been cut at 93 1/8 as opposed to 92 5/8. Now that changed once we got to the interior walls because I built them myself with 2 double top plates, and you can see I crossed over and framed it. I used to frame houses, so I kind of know what I'm doing when it comes to framing. And that's what we did, but we were able to use 2 standard top plates. So these studs are actually 92 5/8. So we're good to go on that. So I'm back in here with this, and all I have to do now is get this wall framed up. I got my Jack and King down there. Got a header I got to cut and put this thing in. So that is the plan. All right, guys, not going to waste any more time. I'm going to jump off here and get this wall built. You guys hang tight. Holla. Make sure you can take your speed square. It's pretty good and flexible. Alright you guys, I have to put this stud in, but I wanted to get the camera up here tight so you could see what's going on. Now it is very, very twisted. The bottom down there is straight as can be, and most of these studs, well not most of them, but a lot of them had twisted and bows in, and you just got to work with what you got. And on this situation like this, I'm going to show you how I would handle this and take care of it. Right now you can see that the back is almost where it needs to be. Now that lines up the back there. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and put a screw in here, possibly a screw in here, and then I'm going to take a screw and drive it through here and pull this thing this way so that I can get the front of it and get this thing straightened out. So I'm going to have Kelly hold the camera and you guys hang tight. Alright, so we're going to put this 3-inch screw in the back first to get it pinned in. Alright, and now I'm going to slip one on the other side just because I don't want the back one to move from where it is. I think. It was over until I... Say something fell in your eye?
I fixed it.
Now I didn't go deep with these 2 screws here only because I don't want to move the back of my thing around. I put 2 of them against each other so they would hold against each other and not move over. So here I'm going to take this screw and put it in here. And then I'm going to get one ready. I'm going to put it on this side so that it drives my stud that way. It's just a lot easier. Just like that. And now I take this hammer right here. and I pull the stud this way. Now it's going to bend the screw and it's going to be awkward to get the screw out, but this will help you get the stud straight. Alright guys, take a look at that. On the lines and it's flush. Here's what I meant about this screw. It's going to get wobbly. That wasn't too bad. Alright guys, that's how you put a bent, warped, twisted stud in. If I was you, I wouldn't have put it in to begin with. That's your tip for the day. Alright you guys, so we got the important stuff done. Now I didn't film doing this stuff because I figured it might just be boring. As long as it took, it was gonna be boring. But basically I can explain to you what had happened. The gable over here was sticking out about 1/2 of an inch. And I needed to make it flush. So when I went upstairs in the attic to pull that over, there was a reason why it was curved out. I made a straight line in here with my drywall, and I snapped a line and I wanted to pull it over to it. However, when I went to go screw this top plate in, I peeked over on the side and I noticed that my gable was sticking out 1/2 inch for about a 3-foot section. That ain't gonna be any good. I need all that to be flush, I need all it to be straight, and I need all of it to be plumb. So it took a little bit of finagling, climbing back in the attic, screwing a 2x4 down to a couple of the trusses and pulling that gable in, screwing my brace down, and now I'm able to come in here and drop some screws in this drywall here with it being straight. I've already got my second top plate in. Now it's just a matter of framing these studs in and getting this window framed in so I can get this wall up and get this plywood permanently attached. Yeah, that's right, permanently attached. I'm tired of having to put it up every day and take it down, put it up and take it down. Today will be the last day. So if you guys want to see that, hang tight all the way to the end and we'll get this thing done. Here we go. Alright guys, walking inside, taking a look at that, that's what we have. I have this temporary wall up right here, and it's doing its job right now. But once I lay that plywood down right there, get that wall built across there, that thing comes down, and then we rocking and rolling. What is up, DIY fam? I wanted to show you guys something today. Now, Sigmund Laser Level sent me this laser level probably around 3 years ago. It was for a different channel. Today I have a rip that I need to put down that's 26.5 inches, and I want to make sure that it's pretty good all the way down. So I want to see where I stand on this end and on that end. So I'm going to mark my 26.5, shoot my laser beam down there and check it periodically all the way through and see how it turns out. So you guys hang tight and watch how the process goes. Here we go. It lands right here. 26.5. Oh yeah, we have plenty of room. Perfect. Alright, that looks good. Alright you guys, there you go. You see it's right on my crow's foot there, and it's shining all the way down. And I'm hitting the edge of that plywood right there. I'm loving that. Alright guys, I'm just going to go through and mark each one of these. Then I'll know where to pull my plywood to, because a laser beam don't lie. Alright you guys, it looks like we're going to call it a day for today. I actually did get the whole top plate in, and I got almost all of the bottom plate in. Now we could stay a little bit longer and get that in, but I'm just exhausted, and I figure why not do it in the morning. Besides, I got to get out there and screw something in there to get that thing buttoned up for the night. So that's going to take us a minute. But anyway, we'll jump back in here tomorrow, and I'll come right in where I left off and jump right back in, turn the camera on. We see if we can't get that wall built tomorrow, and then call that the end of the video. We'll see. We'll see. Been trying to build this wall for 2 days. All right, you guys, have a good night, and I'll check back with you in the morning. Boom. All right, you guys, good morning. We are back, and it is the next day. Now, when we left out of here yesterday, I told you we weren't going to waste any time. We were just actually going to be like we never left and pick up right where we left off. I got Jesse outside removing all those 1x2s. I'm going to jump up here on this wall and start laying it out, because we need to get this part framed in so that we can get outside before it gets cold. That's right, it is starting to get cold. As you can see, I got my toboggan on, or beanie, whatever you guys call it. I don't know, I'm from Ohio and Detroit. But anyway, we got the warm thing on, I got the safety glasses on. I'm about to grab my tape measure and a pencil, get up there, lay this wall out. And Jesse already cut these studs for me yesterday at 93 1/8. So all I gotta do is just place them in the wall. That's what's going on here at the AC01 remodel. I'll check back in with you guys in just a little while. Holla! All right, so that one is on a pretty good layout over there. I'm gonna go ahead and follow that. Well, team, it looks like we come to the end of the day, and we've also come to the end of this video. Thank goodness. I had no idea where I was going to cut this thing off, but I will tell you what I've got done, and I'll let you know what I'm about to do when the camera's turned off, so that way you guys don't come back and be like, what happened, Z? We missed something. All right, so when we first came in, we put all these sheets of plywood up, but you can see I cut at the top. I just cut underneath the soffit that was underneath there. You see what I'm saying? And so that wasn't exactly level. So now that I have gone through and I have leveled everything, it looks like we're gonna have to move these up. Now, no, Jesse is not gonna wanna hear this, but thank goodness we put screws in this and we didn't staple it off, because up there at the top, as you can see, let me get it closer. As you can see up there, that is going to have to be cut level across there. And then once we move our plywood up, because we didn't cut that plywood, once we move that up, you can see it'll be flush with the bottom of that, because that is up and that is level, looking good. And then of course I'll just have to come through here with like a 3-inch piece of plywood and run it all the way across. Our team, that is where we are. It is Friday. I'm about to wrap up and head home. And if you guys want to follow the progress on the AC01 remodel, it's very important that you go down and hit the subscribe button, or they're just not going to send my video out to you. We're getting a slow count when it comes to these, and they used to just fire right off. So if you guys do want to check in on the progress, you're going to have to go down and hit the subscribe button. Make sure you turn on the notification bell. And hey, if you like what you've seen so far, you'll definitely help out the channel and the algorithm if you just go down and smack that like button. That will definitely help the channel and send our video out to other people. Have I missed anything? I don't think so. Wait, have I missed anything? I think that's it. All right, guys, that's going to do it for me on this one, and I hope to see you on the next one. Till next time, take care and stay safe. Peace.